Hello there. Okay, this is all about the diaphragm. How do you use it? How do I make it stronger? How does it help me with singing? I'm going to answer these questions right now. But first, let's take a little bit of a pop quiz. I really want this to be interactive. I know I can't hear and see your answers, but you could certainly answer in our comment section. Tell me what you knew, tell me what you learned, and we'll move on from there. It's never to make fun. That is never my bag. So I want you to always know it's meant to be a lighthearted way for us to learn and to hopefully really integrate it in a meaningful and loving way. Okay? All right. So, first question, where is the diaphragm? Where is it? Okay? I'm going to be a little silly here, but I'm going to give you some options. Okay, is it in your mouth? No. Is it in your neck? No. Okay, your elbow? No. All right, I'm being silly, of course. The diaphragm, where is it? Well, it's inside your body. Your rib cage expands because our rib cage protects our lungs. That's how we breathe. We need air to breathe and we need space for the air to come up through, okay? So it quite literally, the diaphragm quite literally pushes down, which in turn pushes our organs down, which makes space for air. Low, full breath, that's what we're talking about. So I'm going to move my little piano bench over and I'm going to give you a little bit of a demonstration of relaxed opening the rib cage. And you can't even see what the diaphragm is doing. Why? Because it's not a voluntary muscle. What does that mean? A voluntary muscle is a muscle that you are in control of. You can tell it what to do. You can make it do something. I can make sure I grab this pencil. An involuntary muscle is something you cannot direct to work. It directs on its own in a mostly involuntary way in response to something else, okay? So, do you have control over the diaphragm? No, okay? It's involuntary, but you can control how quickly it comes up, and that's going to come up in a second. But first, I want to ask you another question. This is the second part of our pop quiz. Where is your sound? Where's your sound? Do you know where it is? Okay. Is it in your mouth? Is it here? Is it in your belly? Right? Everybody, a lot of people say, oh, my sound is here. Well, how literally, quite literally, how can it be here? If you've got, water and belly and food. Okay, it's not here. If you said here, yeah, you nailed it. Why? Because the sound needs to vibrate. It needs to resonate. And it needs to be in a place where that can happen. So we have the larynx. The larynx is a cartilage that protects the vocal folds, okay? The technical name is vocal folds. A lot of people say vocal cords. No worries. It's the same thing, right? Everybody, it's synonymous now. But vocal folds are the name. And what are vocal folds? They are thin mucous membranes that stretch. And so what happens is you take a breath, that low breath that we were talking about. The involuntary muscle diaphragm pushes things down. And now we've got air that's going to come up through our small bronchial tubes and large bronchial tubes up through the trachea. And where else is it going to pass? Through your vocal folds. What happens when air passes through the vocal folds? Vibration. What is vibration? Sound. How do you determine what a sound is? Well, then we've got frequencies. And so, for example, an A above middle C is at 440 cycles per second to create that sound. If you go an octave lower to that A, it's 220 cycles per second. Go an octave higher from that initial A, now we're at 880 cycles per second. So what happens is the sound is here. And the air comes up through, putting it into vibration, creating sound and frequency. And what we need is space, so that the sound can actually come out. So we have hollow caves, like our vocal tract, like our mouth, and it can bounce up and resonate against things, and that's how we're going to create volume. But we'll talk about that also later. Okay, so quite literally, can you sing from the diaphragm? No, because the diaphragm is here. Your sound is here. Well, then what muscles are important? Why does everybody talk about the diaphragm so much and talk about singing from here? I'll tell you, in my perspective, what happens is what everybody is doing is they're learning to use the surrounding muscles. But these are ignored muscles. We cannot ignore them any longer. They are our friends. We love them and we need them. So let's talk about the oblique muscles. They are these side muscles right here. The transversus, walk it in. Transversus right here. And your rectus abdominis. Now everybody likes the rectus abdominis. They think that's the key to the answer to everything. But if you only use one pair of muscles, you're ignoring the rest. And that's not nice. You've got to love your entire instrument. It's like telling one kid they're more important than the other, and that is not acceptable. They all must receive your love, okay? Hence, our muscles help the diaphragm from raising so quickly. Because what happens if you just take a breath in, there goes all your air. Because you're not controlling it. You're not managing your airflow. Okay, so let's practice. Let's build these muscles. Can we build these muscles? Absolutely. We can build our obliques, transversus, rectus abdominis, and thereby we can also continue to love, nurture, and grow our vocalis muscles, our cricoarytenoid, our cricothyroid muscles, the pitch-changing muscles, where your sound is. Okay, let's try this. So, how do we first engage these muscles? We need to use the crunch. So think of a sit-up, okay, another way to think of engaging these muscles, pretend, if you're ticklish, somebody comes around, they're going to try to tickle you. Do you usually just say, okay? You usually tighten up, don't you? You're tightening up your obliques, your transversus, and your rectus abdominis. You're tightening up those muscles. Another way to think about tightening these muscles, if you really think about it, it's your bathroom muscles. Number 2. Okay, don't do anything, but you use these muscles to tighten up things, okay? Well, this is what you're going to do. These are the muscles that you're going to use to sing, okay? And to support your sound and to stop you from hurting yourself. Stop your voice from getting so tired. Use the proper muscles, okay? If you're finding value in this video, make sure you like and subscribe and be on the lookout for more so that you can continue to grow your knowledge, your technique, and your voice. Okay, my little PSA. Okay, so let's start by putting this into practice. Let's sing an interval of a fifth, do, re, mi, fa, sol, on an ah, e, ah, I, e, ah, but let's incorporate all of these elements. So you need your superhero posture, okay? You want to breathe low. Feel your rib cage open up, and then crunch like you're going to the bathroom. I, e, ah, and don't let it go. I, e, ah, for my men or lower singers, I, ah, I, ah, breathe, I, ah, go down, crunch, I, ah, breathe, crunch, I, ah, crunch. Your sound is here. Don't let it go. Breathe. Keep it up. You've got it. Keep going. Crunch, but first breathe. Okay, hopefully now you have an understanding of what the function of your diaphragm is, where your sound truly is, and how to build the muscles that will help you to strengthen your voice, sing with more knowledge and more confidence.